This is Bristol Zoo in Clifton, and I'm linking it with Isambard Kingdom Brunel. I first visited the zoo with my family when I was a little boy. Then in 1970, when I was 14 years old, I came here courtesy of BBC Radio Bristol because I had won a painting competition. I'd drawn and then painted in the Great Eastern in the River Avon next to the Cumberland Basin with the Clifton Suspension Bridge behind in the background. But now I have learned a little bit more about Brunel. That was a fictitious painting because the Great Eastern would have been far too big to have reached Bristol up the River Avon. Brunel came here on one of the very first days that the zoo opened, and I'm here today because within a few minutes the zoo is closing for good after 186 years. It opened in 1836. It's the 5th oldest zoo in the world and is famous. What exists that Brunel saw was those two gatehouses, one either side of the glassy entrance. In 1836 there was an open entrance between those two gatehouses. The walls around the block are Victorian or original, and there are two listed buildings within that are the oldest, and we're told they're Victorian. They will remain once this gets turned into a park. But they might not have been here the day that Brunel arrived, because he was here within the last year of King William IV. Brunel was here on the 27th of August and he had a long day. It started with the Marquis of Northampton. The Brunels, that's Mary Elizabeth, his wife, attend the second foundation stone ceremony for the resumption of work on the Clifton Bridge, this time at the lee abutment, which is the other side of the Avon Gorge. A band serenades the dignitaries at the newly opened Bristol Zoo. In the evening in Bristol, Dr. Dionys Lardner addresses the British Association, theorising that no steamship could carry enough coal to cross the Atlantic Ocean. After the lecture, Brunel refutes the doctor's claims. Now, as we know, the following year, Brunel launched the wooden paddle steamer, the Great Western, which indeed reached New York with ease, with lots of coal left in its bunkers. It was not the first ship to cross the Atlantic, because the Cirrus, which started before, a small paddle steamer, arrived within a few hours in front of the Great Western. But the Great Western was much faster, and the Cirrus had to burn some of its wooden furnishings in the boilers to keep the ship moving. So Brunel was victorious in his shipbuilding, and as I said, the Great Eastern in my painting competition never came here. But it is a sad affair really. The zoo is closing. But the extraordinary thing about this video is Brunel arrived within its first few days of its life, and this video is being made within 32 minutes of the zoo closing for good, and it will be moved to South Gloucestershire. The details that I've got about the zoo are in my forthcoming book, which is called On the Tracks of Isambard Kingdom Brunel. It should be ready for publishing next year. I know that some of you appreciate the minutiae of Brunel's life from the comments you've left, but I thought it was quite fitting and timely to link the zoo closing with its opening when Brunel visited it. I hope you've enjoyed this little video.